laws benefit the USA in multiple ways. They help determine who are criminals, they help determine how much taxes you have to pay. But making these laws isn't a piece of cake. And von Bismarck says, laws are like sausages. It's better not to see them being made. And there are many struggles in writing a law and even passing a law. And one of the first struggles is that when a law is first written, you have mainly two political parties that argue on the law. Maybe one doesn't agree on the law, and then the other one's trying to push it forward. And if it does pass, it goes to another house, probably the House of Senate, and they vote on it too. And if it passes over there, it goes to the president. And if that president isn't in the same political party, then of course he's gonna veto it, and it goes back all the way down to the House of Representatives, or where it began. So, from an outsider looking in, seeing all this happen can be pretty disgusting, because most people want results just like that, and they don't like to see the process. And I assume that when sausages are being made, it's when meat is packed into containers, and extra meat, fat, pig intestines, extra stuff people don't usually eat, and they make it into little rolls, and that's why even though they taste good, it probably doesn't look good being made. And that's why Vaughn is comparing laws to sausages. And I'm out. I know. You should have. I don't know. Damn it. Talk about voting. The first one should
All right, RJ, I thought you had a clear statement at the beginning of the speech. You know, it's a little odd, but it worked. It got us to the topic that you were talking about. The topic is labeled. You need a preview. I'm not exactly sure what the point is that you're going to be making. I guess you agree with the quote. How are you going to show us that you agree with the quote? The problem I think that you run into is that you get a little too literal with the quote instead of just talking about that process and how compromise is made and how crummy things get stuck into bills that don't belong in there, or how you know, sometimes you get something that's a little unpleasant in the process that you have to go through. I mean, you literally start talking about sausage parts, and I'm not sure that that really helps you very much. I thought you set it up pretty well with the Schoolhouse Rock summary of how a bill gets passed, you know, and then I thought, well, you would talk about that should be your structure. Let's talk about how when the bill first gets introduced, what has to happen for it to get through one house. But what happens if the other house doesn't like it? You know, then what happens to it? How do they manage to get it past that? And then how do they have to change it to get it approved by the president? So you've got the idea of a structure there, but you're not following through on that structure, and you're not thinking about, you know, pick a particular bill or think of something that we ought to be working on, or something that people have criticized, whether it is, you know, legislation about global warming or the war or, you know, the tax cuts or any of those kinds of things. There are lots of places where I'm sure as I always tell people, you'll give a better speech in the car on the way home today. And you know, you're sitting here already thinking of examples. Oh, I could have said that. I could have said that. I could have said that. And that's what you need to do, is you need to find those things. And an organizational structure, I think, will help you do that a little bit more. Okay. Thank you.